Okay, I'm gonna make one of those transitional paintings, I call them. Took a bunch of pickets and ripped them in half. See that? They're just pickets I ripped in half on a table saw. Now I'm gonna cut them down to length. Let me start every video off by saying, at this point, I cannot paint anything for anybody. Just saying. I make these paintings that when you walk by them, they turn into other paintings. Everybody seems to like them, so I came up with a sort of a thought on what I wanted to do. I haven't made one in a while, so I figured I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Not that you're going to do it, but you might be curious how I do it. Some of you might do it. Is it too early to fire up the saw? I don't know. I don't really care. Coffee. You create two panels that are exactly the same size. So when they fit together, it makes one same size painting. Why does coffee have to be so good? But every time before I start, I get a couple minutes into it, and I gotta let him in. What? You crybaby. Huh? Always interrupted. I got 4 cats and 2 dogs, and they always want something. Amazing I can get anything done. I got 2 kids. You know, the hardest part about doing anything is finding my tape measure. It's kind of like the hardest part about leaving the house is finding my car keys. Brand new staple gun. It's already starting to act stupid on me. Alright, so if I divide them in half, then I have 20 strips that are almost 2 inches. Guessing 38 inches wide. Ooh, that's plenty wide enough, I think. Make this 3 foot wide and maybe 5 foot tall. That's kind of big. I like it. Okay, we'll do that. Ever notice how everything looks cool in slow motion? Let me put this in here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'll use 3 battens to hold this panel together. And I'm going to use staples, no glue, because when I'm done painting this, I'm going to have to pry bar it apart. Good thing I checked my staple gun. Way too long of staples. I need short ones. So these staples should blow right into the back side without blasting out the front side. It wouldn't be good if I was stapling these battens on and the staples were popping through the face of the thing I wanted to paint on. So I'm putting 2 staples in each picket here as I'm going along. I want it to hold good, but at the same time I want to be able to pry bar it apart. You people paying attention, man? I'm trying to teach you something. It's a little over 3 feet and 5 feet tall. Okay, did you notice when I was stapling it together, I was kind of pulling on it to make sure that the pickets stayed nice and tight. I don't want any big gaps or anything in there. Sometimes you'll get a strip of wood that's all warped out. Don't use that one. Chuck it. Use it for like strapping the backside. When I put these battens on here, some of them are hanging over a little. Right here. That doesn't matter. It's gonna get pry barred off of there. So we don't care about that. Okay, Now they're put together, so we want to sand them nice and smooth so that when we paint it, we'll have a nice smooth surface to draw on. You don't want to draw on something real rough, obviously. Got me some 80 grit. See? Apparently I didn't cut them perfect, but I'm not anal retentive, so keep rolling. This is all about getting it done. I ain't trying to win any award shows or nothing. So now, that gas, wipe it off, or brush it off. See all that dust on there? You do want the paint to stick good. I'm not gonna prime it first. That's anal retentiveness coming out. I don't do that. I'm gonna base coat it with just a cheap white interior paint, whatever. Flat is good because when the paint dries, flat is real easy to draw on. Imagine drawing on like a high gloss paint or something. It's difficult, so don't use that. I'm just laughing because everywhere I go, no matter what I'm doing, I make a big mess. You can always tell when Jeff's been around. Looks like a tornado went through. This is some paint that I got at Home Depot. And it was like oops paint. So I got this 5-gallon bucket of paint for 38 bucks. That's cheap. Hey, if you're gonna paint in the grass. Because if you're like me, you'll spill paint and you don't want to get it on the driveway. You seen my driveway? So do as I say, not as I do. That looks like terrazzo or something. I have so much paint dripped on it. It's terrible. How you doing? Good. Making a little tutorial on Facebook.
Oh yeah?
So now I let the panels dry in my front yard, and the neighbors don't like it, but I do it anyways.
Don't speak for me.
He doesn't care. He's John. He's cool.
Don't speak for me.
So now we have 2 panels that are the same size. They are made up of like 2-inch strips, 20 little strips per panel, battened on the back. You got that so far? I know this isn't the cool part. You like to see the painting and stuff, but I'm just showing you guys how this transitional painting thing works. Some of y'all might want to try it. Some of y'all might be interested how it gets done. I've showed people before, but I think I've made videos on it before. What's up, old guys? My old dogs here. They're 14 years old, both of them brothers. Go, guys. Can you give them a treat? Yeah. Thanks. They do not like to be outside at all. They don't even like to come outside to go to the bathroom. That is sloppy. You ain't kidding. Fast. Hey, look up close. I mean, look how crappy that looks. Oh my God. But move back, look. It's crazy, it's like an illusion. It looks good from back here. Looks like shit up close. But it looks good. 80 feet out, and you drive by it going 40 miles an hour, you know what I mean? Fish. Okay, this is the part where I gotta take everything out of my pockets. I can't show you guys all this in one video. It's just would be too long of a video. This is probably already too long. Okay, so we got the panels together. The next step will be I'm gonna paint something on it and then assemble it and show you how I do that. Okay, guess what part it is now? You guessed it, baby.